Alright, so I think a little bit of surprising news to some around the movie world, and I guess to DC fans like myself who probably weren't really expecting this news, but it is being said that the script for the Bane and Deathstroke movie have officially been submitted, with casting to begin soon. Director Matthew Orton has submitted the script for Bane and Deathstroke film to James Gunn and Peter Safran. Casting is reportedly set to begin soon once the script is approved. Again, the DCU has officially kicked off with the new Superman movie, or hold on just 1 second. The new Superman movie, I should say, coming out and being absolutely fantastic, obviously. I mean, a massive success, great reviews. It's done really good in the box office, of course, so far as well. And a lot of people have been looking at what's the future of the DC universe going to be like. Again, we're getting Supergirl, which looks really cool, with Millie Alcock, who was absolutely phenomenal in her little short time in Superman, which is really going to set the tone for what her movie's going to be like. Again, we're of course getting Clayface, which is the one that's interesting me the most, an 18 R-rated movie, which is going to be a body horror film about one of Batman's more underutilized villains, I would say. Again, I recently made a full video talking about the leaks with that. But one of the interesting things about the Clayface movie is we're completely getting this before we get James Gunn's DCU Batman movie, which is called Brave and the Bold. Again, what's even more interesting about that is that James Gunn confirmed that we will not be getting the Batman Part 2 and Brave and the Bold in the same year, meaning that Brave and the Bold is probably going to come out in 2028. So we're going to get Clayface in 2026. I think we might be getting this Deathstroke and Bane movie in 2027, and we're getting both of these villain films before we are officially getting a Batman film, which is really interesting, and it could really be a very good idea, or it could be a very bad idea. Again, to have villains from a very popular character's catalog and use them in films without using the actual character themselves typically hasn't worked that great. I mean, you can ask Sony and whatever the fuck they were trying to do with their Sony Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. But again, in saying that, this is James Gunn we're talking about here. Much better direction, much better leader, I think, who's actually going to have a vision for what he's going to want to tell. And I think maybe the possible idea of this is to have a Clayface movie in 2026, a Deathstroke and Bane movie in 2027, and have them kind of set up Batman as like this massive boogeyman of this new DC universe who is really, really feared. Again, in my opinion, you gotta have him cameo at least in the Clayface movie and have a decent part in this, Bane and Deathstroke movie. And I feel like if you're having a Bane and Deathstroke movie, two of Batman's best villains, one of them Deathstroke being severely underutilized as well, I feel like you have to have Batman as like this antagonist, like kind of have him, of course, in our eyes as a good guy, but to Clayface and maybe his film, but of course to Deathstroke and Bane in their film, have Batman be the antagonist and have him kind of be the villain in their eyes. Again, I think that could be a very interesting thing that we could, of course, see. That would be very different to any super villain movie, that we've ever seen, and could honestly just be a great idea and a great concept. Again, the reality is I think this movie is almost certain to come out in 2027. The fact that James Gunn actually has someone working on the script who is also the director. Again, a lot of movies that James Gunn is working on so far don't have any writers or don't even have any producers. You've got this film with a legit director, a legit writer who has already submitted the screenplay for this film. Again, I expect this one to come out probably, I would say like June, July 2027. I think casting, will probably start end of this year, go on early next year. We'll get filming probably early next year, and they'll probably give this film like 6 months to a year in the editing room, very similar to what they've done so far with, of course, Supergirl, what they, of course, did with Superman. and give, of course, the actors of this film enough time to go out and actually market this movie. Very similar to the great marketing campaign that they've had with Superman. Now, again, who are they going to go for Deathstroke and Bane here? I really don't know. And again, it's going to be interesting to see how the age portfolio of these characters is going to be. Again, considering it's being said that the DCU's Batman is probably going to be about, earliest, like in his early 30s, late, 30s. Again, I don't see them going for an older actor here, but I mean, I think Josh Brolin would actually be a really good actor to maybe see, as, of course, Deathstroke. I think he'd be a really good fit, especially if they want to go with that older type of actor. Again, if they were going to go younger, I'm really not too sure. For Bane, there's definitely been a couple of actors' names thrown around. I mean, people are still saying Dave Bautista, but the reality is that Dave Bautista is like freaking 75 kilos now instead of the 110 kilos of pure pumping steroids and 5,000 calories a day that that man used to be. Again, it definitely won't be Bautista. He's also said he's aged out of the role. I could actually see them going for a guy like Alan Richardson, who a lot of people think could be, Batman. I don't know if they're going to go with him. He's, I think, maybe a little bit too old to be Batman, in my opinion, but they might. But in my opinion, we should go back to that classic, really massive Bane, who's really tall, fucking yoked on roids, man. And that could be legit Alan Richardson. I think he would be someone very interesting. They could look at that, especially considering he's like 6'4", probably a freaking 120 kegs of pure muscle. Yeah, I think he'd be an option. It's definitely not going to be Dave Bautista though. And yeah, I think Josh Brolin would be really good as Deathstroke, even though he probably is aged out of the role a bit. Again, another role I actually think Josh Brolin would be a bit unrelated is if they wanted to go with like Thomas Wayne in the DCU at all. Again, I don't think they're really going to do that, but if they're going to adapt maybe some Flashpoint, storyline of some sort where a Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, holy shit, Josh Brolin would be fucking cool as that. I think that would be really good. But yeah, I don't know who they're going to go for really any of these, but the reality is that looks like we're getting this Deathstroke and Bane movie way quicker than probably any of us thought we were going to. So I'm very excited for that. Again, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on the comment section down below. Are you guys excited for a potential Bane Deathstroke movie? We got the script coming soon. What's going to happen? Again, I'd very much like to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my, this channel, my movie/gaming channel for all those videos like this. My sports channel, which will be linked down below, and my Instagram. Go check them out as well. But yeah, as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.